name is Ed Sachs. I'm a certified public accountant, a collaborative financial professional, a neutral financial professional, and I practice throughout the state of Florida. With me today is Adam Cordover, an attorney in Tampa, a collaborative attorney, and the managing attorney of Family Diplomacy, a collaborative law firm. Also with us is Dr. Jim Morris, a clinical psychologist who focuses on working with families going through divorce and has offices in Clearwater and Tampa.
The collaborative process starts with a pretty simple concept that families don't belong in court. Each party hires an attorney, and the attorneys agree from the very beginning that they are going to be used solely for settlement purposes. They are not going to be used in litigation against one another. There's oftentimes a facilitator involved who generally has a mental health background, and he or she is there to help the parties with communication, to help the parties focus on the future rather than on the arguments of the past. And then oftentimes there's a financial professional, either a financial planner or a CPA, and they're there to help crunch the numbers, to help serve as a repository for the parties.
The role of the neutral financial professional is one of an educator. Our job is to first gather all of the financial records necessary in order to educate the parties so that they can come to a settlement that meets their needs. Our job is to provide them with whatever information from a financial point of view that will help them better understand what their financial position is and what their needs are going to the future.
We help to facilitate the process. We try to make sure that everyone, the parties as well as the other professionals, stay on task and that we're working in the meetings on the things that we've agreed to work on. So we follow the agenda. We try to make sure everything moves forward effectively. We also play a role of education. Divorce is a very complicated process, and we try to help the parents know what they should expect, both in terms of how they might react to the situations, as well as understanding how divorce impacts children so that they can better develop a parenting plan, which is also one of the things that we do. We actually work directly with the parents in the developing of that. We try to help the whole team communicate effectively, and we try to help everyone manage emotions.
We have fantastic judges throughout the state of Florida, and they try to do the best that they can do, but the truth is that they're shackled by the law. There's only a set of circumstances, a set amount of things that they can order for clients. For example, if there are grandparents involved in a case, a judge can't order grandparent visitation, but in the collaborative process, the parties can agree that they want the grandparents to be involved in a set way for their children. And so really there's a much wider array of possibilities that are available for families so that they can control their own fate, so that they can really have the outcome that they want rather than have somebody else order an outcome that they must stick to.
In a litigated case, your tax returns, all of your financial records are made part of the public record. You're required to file a financial affidavit which talks about how much money you earn, how much money you spend, what are your assets and liabilities. One of the beauties of the collaborative process is that it is private. None of these financial records are filed in the public record. They're kept as part of the private process only amongst the professionals and the parties involved.
When you are defending yourself, you are altering how you think and how you respond. When you are attacking, you're doing the same thing. So what we do is we polarize those parties. And rather than becoming more effective co-parents, which is what they need to be for their children, they become more and more damaged toward one another, so they can't work together well. And in the end, it's the children who suffer from that. Also, in a litigated case, there's a limit to the creativity that can happen. An attorney might make an offer to the other attorney and say, this is what my client would like, and the other attorney responds. In the collaborative process, we can try to find a consensus, not some middle point compromise, but a truly creative solution that meets the needs of everyone.
In a litigated case, it truly is husband versus wife, mother versus father. And there's a lot of opposition research and a lot of expense that goes in not only to bring up your own client, as from the attorney's perspective, but also to put down the other client, and all that can create a tremendous amount of expense. Well, in collaborative practice, we say, no, we're not going to play those games. We're just going to go on the one track, on the reaching out and trying to reach an agreement track. The attorneys can focus only on helping the parties reach a resolution so they can move their lives forward. The attorneys in a collaborative process are contractually barred from engaging in litigation and other tactics. And so in that way, it's a much more efficient process.
One of the keys for collaborative process is that you control your own fate as the party, as the divorcing spouses. They control the results. It's not left to a third party, and they're able to achieve as best of a result as they can possibly achieve in the collaborative process. I think secondarily, the privacy factor of the collaborative process. It's not held in the public record. None of this information is out to the public, and I think that's the key. And I think the manner in which everyone holds themselves out to, the openness, preserves the family, and I think that's a critical factor in the collaborative process.
First, you really need to go to a professional who's been collaboratively trained. You can find collaboratively trained professionals throughout the state at the website of the Florida Academy of Collaborative Professionals. Make sure that when you're going to an attorney, that you speak with somebody who has been collaboratively trained, that if you're going to a mental health professional or a financial professional, that you're going to somebody who has been collaboratively trained, and that's how you start a collaborative case.